If you're not intentional, one of the most common areas that can easily fall behind in your life is your health. And with all the other responsibilities that you have as a man, it's difficult to always make sure that your health and your fitness are a priority in your life. And this is one of the main areas that I see men struggle with the most, especially when all those responsibilities in life really start to pile up. It's one of those areas in life where if you're reactive, you're really going to struggle to stay consistent. If your health just stays as kind of a wish or a hope instead of a plan and consistent action, then it's going to be really difficult to keep this area a main priority in your life. Just hoping that you have time to go to the gym is not really a good strategy. You're almost never going to have time. Hoping that you wake up feeling motivated in the morning to exercise is not a good strategy, right? You're almost never going to wake up feeling motivated. Hoping that you're just going to eat healthier magically without actually making any lifestyle changes is not a good strategy. You see, there's a big difference between having good intentions and actually making those intentions a reality. Wishing is not a good strategy. Hoping is not a good strategy. You have to take it a step further. You actually have to get intentional and proactive about it. You must develop a good game plan and then develop good, consistent, healthy habits and work those day after day after day to really make progress in this area. And I know this is difficult to do. It's easy to kind of fall into a rut when it comes to your health. It's easy to revert back to some of the habits that have formed over your entire lifetime. Working out is not something that's always easy. It's not always fun to go do. It requires hard work. Eating healthy is not always easy when you're surrounded by junk food all the time. So that's why this area cannot just be left to hope or chance. And if that's the case, then this area is going to continue to slide your entire life. So today, I want to give you 7 ways that you can jumpstart your health journey again and just gain some momentum in this area. These are 7 practical things that you can start doing right now to move from those good intentions and well wishes to actually living with intentionality and taking consistent action. You can put all 7 of these things into practice at once, or just pick one of them. Just do something to get started. But just do something if you know that this is an area that you need to focus on a little bit. So let's jump in. Let's have some fun with this. Here's 7 areas to kickstart your health journey. All right. So number 1 is to have a quick nightly planning session before you go to bed. If there's one action that you could take from this training, I would recommend that this would be the one. This is a habit I like to call a cornerstone habit, which is a single habit that sets you up for success in many different other areas. So if you do this habit, it's going to make all the other habits the next day a lot easier. It's going to make those bad habits a lot more difficult. So what I mean by a nightly planning session is that you just take a few minutes. This could honestly be right after work if you prefer, or just a few minutes before you go to bed, and you look at your upcoming day and you actually plan your health decisions. So oftentimes, men are pretty good at planning what they're going to do for work or what appointments they have, but they don't plan out anything in the area of exercise and diet, and that can become an issue. So when you're planning your day, write down exactly what you're going to eat, where you're going to eat it. Write down exactly when and where you're going to work out and what you're going to be doing for exercise. I can't tell you how much of a game changer this will be if you actually just do this one simple habit. When you don't plan ahead, you let your mood, your motivation, circumstances, other people dictate your decisions. And like I mentioned before, if you're reactive in this area, you don't stand much of a chance. But if you just take 5 minutes the night before to think through your day, plan out your diet and your fitness decisions, that can make all the difference. It's how you're going to be intentional. It's how you're going to go into each day with confidence, knowing that you're going to make healthier choices. So kind of a bonus tip that you can do with this is to actually pack your food when you're done with the planning session. So you finish scheduling it out. You know exactly what you're going to eat. You know when you're going to eat it. Go into the kitchen, pack your food, have it ready the night before so that eating healthy is really convenient. Okay, so this cornerstone habit, this could be the biggest thing that could make all the difference if you start doing it on a consistent basis. All right, tip number 2 is to start making a grocery list before you go to the store. I know this is simple, but again, it's the difference between being proactive and being reactive with your health. Grocery stores are designed to encourage impulse buying behaviors, right? They place the most eye-catching packages and the most tempting foods in highly visible spots to try to increase their sales. Grocery stores aren't concerned with your health. They're concerned with making money. So that's why all the candy bars and the chips and the energy drinks are all right there by the checkout. They want you to make last-minute impulse purchases. So don't go into a grocery store without having a game plan. Just take a few minutes at home before you leave, think through the meals that you want to eat that week, write out all the ingredients that you need, make a list, go to the store, and only stick to those items. And you can even have ChatGPT create you a meal plan for the week and give you the list of ingredients that you need. It doesn't have to be super complicated. It just comes down to actually being intentional. You don't want to just go in there when you're hungry or when you're tired and start making impulse decisions. You want to go in there with a game plan, knowing exactly what you need. If you make a list ahead of time, you're cutting it off at the source. You're not going to have junk food at home, so that later at home when you're tired and you're not motivated, there's nothing for you to grab, only healthy options. So this is why the grocery store is so important. Be proactive, make a list, stick to the list. Okay, and then the third way to jumpstart your health journey again and to start making more proactive decisions is to prep your meals for the week ahead of time. Meal prep. I know it never sounds like much fun, and it's something people often recommend doing, but it can be hard to put into practice. But when this is done right, when you actually do it consistently, it can make all the difference. Many poor dietary decisions happen because you're in a hurry, or you don't have time to cook, you don't have any good food available at home, or you don't have any good food options at work. So you end up eating out way too much. You make poor decisions when you eat out. Those things can be solved if you take time to meal prep. So yeah, it does take time to cook all your food for the week at once, but it saves you so much time on the back end when your schedule is actually the busiest. So taking an hour or two to cook your food on a Sunday, that might seem like a lot to give up, but it can save you 15, 30 minutes of prep every single time that you'd have to make a meal. So over the course of the week, you're saving a ton of time. And in the middle of the week, when you're hurried, when you're tired, when you're busy, having those healthy options just ready to grab is extremely helpful. How much is your health actually worth to you? Is it worth taking a couple hours out of a day to make sure you're set up for success? Probably, right? If the answer is yes, then meal prepping is definitely worth the investment. It's worth the time. It will save you so much time, and it'll set you up for success throughout the week. So that's tip number 3. Tip number 4, develop a plan for when you're going to be eating out. Another main challenge when you're trying to eat healthy is dining out, right? This can be really hard to stick to your diet when you're eating out a lot of times. Most restaurants, they're not very focused on your health. There are some that are, but most are focused on just creating food that tastes really good so you keep coming back. And so that's why you have to be intentional when you're eating out. You're not always going to be able to choose the restaurant either. There's going to be a lot of times where friends are going to invite you to places, work events are going to pop up, social settings can make healthy choices a lot more difficult. So the key is to have a plan before you even sit down at the table. So you just want to anticipate these situations ahead of time. Decide how you're going to handle the menu, the drinks, the portion sizes. That way, when the moment comes, you're not just relying on willpower. You're not relying on making good impulse decisions. You're simply just following through on a decision you already made when you were in a good, healthy mindset. So if you know you're going out to eat and you know the restaurant, take a look at the menu ahead of time and choose what you're going to order. That way, you're not going to be swayed by what others are ordering or what your hunger is telling you to order in the moment. You know exactly what you're going to order before you even come in. You can also take a few minutes now and create a list of healthy restaurants that you can have ready to recommend when people are trying to decide to eat out. We know these situations happen all the time. You're in a group of friends, you're trying to figure out where to go. You can be the one to speak up. If you know a few different healthy options that are going to help you stick to your meal plan, recommend those. Taking a few minutes now to do some research, find some good healthy options can save you so much hassle on the back end. Also, big thing to note is be careful with appetizers, be careful with desserts, and be careful with drinks. These are kind of usually the main problem areas where people end up consuming too many calories. Decide if you're going to order any appetizers, decide if you're going to order any drinks ahead of time, look at the dessert menu. I'd recommend just skipping those and just sticking with the entree. But as long as you're proactive, as long as you know exactly what you want to do before you're going in, then you're okay. That's the big difference here. Be proactive. Don't be reactive. Plan ahead. Think ahead before you walk into situations so that you make better decisions. Okay, so that's 4 tips so far. We got 3 to go. The 5th thing to jumpstart your health is to eliminate mindless eating. Okay, so what I mean by mindless eating is when you're just eating food and you're not paying attention at all to how much you're having. Think about when you're snacking and watching TV. It's a habit a lot of us tend to do. When you're fixated on the TV, you're not really paying attention as much to the portions that you're eating. Instead of having just 1 serving of chips, you end up eating half the bag. I've done this before. It's really easy to do when your mind is focused on something else. Think about the times where you're at a party and there's just tables of food everywhere. It's really easy to just keep eating and eating and eating because you're focused on conversation, you're focused on other people, so you don't really have any clue how much you're actually consuming. Try to avoid these scenarios. When you eat, pay attention to what you're eating. When you're at a party, maybe you just grab a plate, grab a small plate, strategically pick out the things you want, stick to that one plate. That's being proactive. When you're watching TV and you want to eat, maybe grab that bag of chips, pour it out into a bowl with a predetermined amount. Before you even head over to the TV area, only eat that bowl. Then you know you can have those. You're not going to overeat. Such a big deal to eliminate mindless eating. Another big kind of tip with this is to keep a food log. If you're really getting started and you want to get this dialed in, keep a log of the things that you eat. When it's kind of out of sight, out of mind, it's really easy to overeat. When you're writing it down, it forces your mind to actually consciously think through it, to pay attention to it. So keeping a food log is really important. Also, pay attention to the beverages that you're mindlessly consuming as well. These are really easy to drink and not pay attention to how many you're having. Alcohol, sugary drinks like soda, coffee with too much sugar or cream in it, those can be the culprit of a lot of the overconsumption of calories that you might be experiencing. Okay, so I got 2 left for you. Hope these have been helpful so far. Let's jump into tip number 6. And this actually has to do with working out, and that's to follow an exact exercise program. Whether you create the program yourself, find it on the internet, hire a personal trainer, having a specific program that you commit to is so much more effective than just showing up to the gym without a plan. The days I just show up to the gym and I don't have a plan, I oftentimes let my motivation dictate what I do. So if I'm feeling really good, motivated, fired up, I'll work out hard. But if not, I'll slack off way more. Instead of doing 4 sets, maybe I'll do 2. Instead of doing 6 different exercises, maybe I'll only do 3 or 4. I usually slack off way more when I don't have something specific that I've already committed to. So before you go to the gym, you should know exactly what exercises you're going to do. You should know how many sets you're going to do, how many reps that you're shooting for. You should know all those things before you even step into a gym. Following a structured exercise program gives your workouts direction, it gives them purpose, and it gives them consistency. Those 3 things are really essential for real progress. Without a plan, it's easy to fall into the trap of just kind of doing random workouts, maybe skipping a few days here or there, or only exercising when it is convenient. An exercise program increases your chances of long-term success because it's going to build momentum. You can actually track progress. You're going to stay motivated. You're going to stay accountable. You might even avoid some injury by balancing rest and intensity and variety. That's why it's so important to actually have a plan when you go into a workout. So, helpful tips here. Hire a coach. If you don't know what to do, hire a personal trainer, hire a coach, somebody who can write a personalized custom workout program for you. If you don't want to do that, that's totally fine. Grab a friend to work out with. Create a program together. Having a friend to work out with increases accountability, and it kind of gives you that friendly competition. So you show up more consistently, you work harder. Super important. I think that's a big one. It makes it a lot more fun when you do it with somebody else. If not, make sure you have a program that you're committed to sticking to. And then actually write down your workouts when you're there. Track your progress. Write down the weight you did. Write down the reps you did. Those things are all important because progress is one of the biggest motivating factors in life. So when you can see that you're making progress in a tangible way, it's going to really increase your motivation to stay consistent and to keep going to the gym. So make sure you follow a specific exercise program so you don't leave up your workouts to motivation, random chance, how you're feeling in the moment. You have something specific you're going to follow, whether you're motivated or not. All right. And then the last tip I have for you today is just get started. Number 7, Get started. Sometimes just getting started is the biggest obstacle to success. It's really easy to fall into the trap of starting to overthink things, overplan things, waiting for the perfect circumstance. Say you're going to wait till the start of the year to do it. Say you're going to wait till the next quarter when you have to set new goals. Whatever it is, it's really easy to make excuses to put things off. But if you know that you need to get your health under control, just pick something to do today and do it. Take a step in the right direction. Go on a walk today. Go to the gym and buy a membership when you're done with this training. Go buy those workout clothes. Throw out that junk food in your house. Maybe you call a friend right now and just ask them to work out with you and pick a time and a place to do it. Go hire a coach if you need more personalized support. Go find that workout program and buy it. Commit to it. Do something today to get you started. The law of diminishing intent states that the longer you wait to do something you know that you're wanting to do, the less likely you're actually to do it. The longer you wait, the less likely you actually are to do it. So thinking that you're going to do it 3 months from now is actually something you're fooling yourself into. If you're not motivated now, you're probably not going to be motivated then. So get started, take an action. So don't be reactive in this area. That's the key to all 7 of these tips. You want to be proactive. You want to plan. You want to be intentional. Leaving it up to your motivation, leaving it up to your mood, leaving it up to your circumstances, hoping you have time, hoping that you're going to feel motivated. Those are not good strategies. Think through. Implement one of these 7 ideas. Implement all 7 of these ideas. Don't really care what it is. Pick one, pick something, and just do it. Get started today. All right. So I hope today was helpful. I hope it was practical and also encouraging. And I'm sure there's other things that have been really successful for you. So I'd love to hear what those are. If you have some other helpful tips, leave a comment. Also, please share this with somebody if you think they might benefit from it as well. So thanks for joining me today. I appreciate you. I believe in you. Go live a life you're proud of by living intentionally.